Welcome to our everyday math lesson for Unit 7, Lesson 7.4. This is your everyday math for 5th grade. Volume 2 in your student journal is where we are, and this is page 243. So today's lesson is all about using common denominators when we divide. Now, I know that we've worked a lot on dividing with fractions. We've talked about keep, change, flip in my class a lot, also known as the reciprocal. So making sure that you know how to use the reciprocal is something that is very important. But there are other methods for dividing, and sometimes you can do that by finding common denominators. We're going to work on this today. Now, again, I've talked to you a little bit about my thinking and my understanding. This is a lesson that I'm going to show you. It is good for some students. Some of my kids absolutely love doing it this way. Other kids, it's kind of hard for them to understand. Remember, just like with everything else that I've shown you, if you don't like this way or don't understand, it's okay. I do want you to try because there are things in this lesson that I think that you can get and that would make things almost able to understand things a little bit better. Okay, so really try. But when it comes down to a test or an assignment or an assessment, remember, you can use multiple steps or multiple ways to do your work. The most important thing is, remember we talk about checking our work all the time. This is the method you could use to check your work. Okay? We're going to start with our math message. So the math message says use your fraction circle pieces to solve and divide 4 divided by 1/3. Draw lines on the circles below to show you how you solved your problem. Absolutely, I could do keep, change, flip. 4 over 1, change, so I multiply, flip it. 3 over 1. My answer would be 12. Great. Some of you like pictures. I'm a picture person. 4 pieces, 4 circles, dividing it into thirds. Close to the same size. In a real world, I would draw it perfect and it would be the same size, but it's close enough. So here we go. How many total pieces are there? Well, 3, 6, 9, 12. See how easy that is? Whatever way is easiest for you, do that way. Here is how you're going to use common denominators to help you solve fractions. So when you divide with fractions, besides drawing the picture, besides using keep, change, flip, you can use the method that we're about to do today. Okay? So I'm going to show you a few things with this method. Again, please just try to stay with me. The book does a really good job, I feel, of laying out the steps involved. All right? So here we go. So that says one way to divide fractions is to use common denominators. This method can be used to divide whole numbers by fractions and fractions by whole numbers. Did it say anything about fractions by fractions? No. It mentioned a fraction and a whole number. So keep that in mind. This may not always be the best strategy for other things. Okay? Number 1 says rename the dividend and divisor as fractions with a common denominator. So I know that my dividend is what is being divided. I know my divisor is what we're dividing by. So divisor, dividend. So step 1 says to write them as fractions with a common denominator. Okay? So 3 over 1. That was not over 1. There we go. 3 over 1, 1/2. My common denominator is going to be 2. Okay? Multiply by 2. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So 6 halves and 1/2, right? Yeah, I rewrote it. This is step 1. Done. Been there, done that. Now I need to just divide the numerators. What's 6 divided by 1? 6. So that's your answer. See how this kind of can be a little easier? Now, it's a little harder to think about. So we're going to do a couple practices today. We are going to work through this together, but it kind of could be a little bit easier. So let's do the next, let's do the next one. Let's start by making them into fractions with a common denominator. So 1/3, 4/1. What's my common denominator going to be? Well, it's going to be 3, right? 1/3 can stay the same. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. So 12/3 and 1/3. We're right. Now we're going to divide. What is 1 divided by 12?
Pardon the interruption.
Sorry, they were making an announcement. So I know that 1 divided by 12 is going to be a fraction. I know that when I see a fraction, 1 divided by 12. That is the way that I could read this fraction, right? My middle line means divided by. 1/12. See how easy that is? All right, let's do the next few here. So 2 and 1/5. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write 2/1. Make it into a fraction. Now I need to have a common denominator. So my denominator here is 5. I can make this one 5. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So 10/5 divided by 1/5. And now I'm going to divide. What is 10 divided by 1? Easy. It's 10. That's how you're going to do these. Now, the way that we check this is I take this number 10 and I'm going to multiply it by 1/5. What is 10 times 1/5? Okay, well, 10 times 1 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5. So 10/5 equals 2. That's how you do this problem. Let's do number 2. I want you to start by rewriting number 2 as fractions with a common denominator. What fractions would I use for number 2? Well, 1/4 would stay the same. 4/1. All right. I need to make 4's my common denominator. So multiply by 4. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So 16/4. So 1/4 divided by 16/4. Well, remember what we did up here is basically we kind of made it into a fraction, right? So 1 divided by 16. That's your final answer. Now let's check it. We're going to take this answer, 1/16, and we're going to multiply it by this. I'm going to multiply it by 4, so multiply it by that second number. What is 1/16 times 4? Well, 4/1. So my answer would be 4/16. Then divide both by 4, which would be 1/4. Absolutely. Absolutely. So 4/16 is the same as 1/4. There you go. All right, let's do this next question. With number 3, what 2 fractions will I use? What are they with a common denominator? Go. All right, it should be 1/2 divided by 10/2. Now do the math. What is 1/2 divided by 10/2? All right, this is going to look very similar to number 2 and to my second problem up there. 1 divided by 10. So 1/10 should be your answer. To check my math, I'm going to do 1/10 times 5. 1/10 times 5 absolutely is 1/2. Absolutely. Because 5/10 is half. All right, here you go. This time you're going to do this one all on your own. I want you to find your common denominator. Find your answer. What is 4 divided by 1/4? What's your final answer? So 16/4 divided by 1/4 equals 16. Your answer should have been 16. To check, I'm going to do 16 times 1/4 equals what? What is 16 times 1/4? 16 over 1 times 1 over 4 equals 16 over 4. Divide 16 divided by 4 is 4. You are correct. All right, we're going to be on page 244. We do have a few more problems we're going to work through today. So for numbers 1 through 4, it says write a number model using a letter for the unknown. We've been doing number models since week 1. Solve using the strategy of your choice. Freeze, time out. Strategy of your choice. If you like how we're doing it now, great, do it. If you prefer keep, change, flip, fine, great, do it. If you would rather draw a picture, great. Find a way that works for you. All right, here we go. Number 1. By the way, notice that we have 4 story problems up here, and then right below we have to also write number stories, and you can use these to help you. I'll show you. Number 1, it says, Chase is packing flour into 1/2 pound bags. He has 8 pounds of flour. How many bags can he pack? So 8 pounds of flour, dividing it into what size bags? Well, 1/2. So we're going to do 8 divided by 1/2 equals B, because I need to know how many bags. Use any strategy that you choose and find the answer. Go. All right, 8 divided by 1/2. I know that I am going to use, this time, I'm going to use keep, change, flip. I've done a couple with common denominator. This one I'll do keep, change, flip. So keep 8 over 1. Change to multiply. Flip. 1/2 turns to 2 over 1. 8 times 2 is 16 over 1. So my total answer is 16. To check, I'm going to do 16 times 1/2. So take your answer, multiply by your divisor. So take your answer, multiply by your divisor. So 16 times 1/2 is 8, and that should be your dividend. Awesome. Regina has 1/4 of a watermelon. If she and 2 friends share it equally, what proportion of the watermelon will each person get? So you're chopping up the watermelon, not the people. Don't do 3 divided by anything. You're going to do 1/4 divided by 3. I want you to go ahead and do the math again any way you choose. Find my answer. What is 1/4 divided by 3? All right, this one I'm going to do the common denominator method. Awesome. So 1/4 stays the same. Divided by, okay, I need to make this a 4th, so I multiply by 4, the top and the bottom. So 1/4 divided by 12/4 equals W. 1/4 divided by 12/4, remember I divide just the numerators, so 1 divided by 12. So they get 1/12 of a watermelon. Use what I did here to write how you would check your answer. What multiplication problem would I use to check my answer? All right, for this problem, I would do 1/12 times, remember I multiply it by my divisor, 3. 1/12 times 3 equals 3/12 or 1/4. Perfect. Number 3 and 4 will actually be on your Google Classroom assignment for the day. It's going to be part of your Google form with your math boxes. Okay, so just fair warning with that. Let's look at number 5 and number 6. So we need to write story problems. So I'm going to use what we did at the top to help me out. So I see that this is a whole number divided by a fraction. Guys, number 1, a whole number divided by a fraction. So he has 8 pounds of flour. Okay, I have 3 cups of milk. Might help if I spell milk correctly. I have 3 cups of milk. Dividing by 1/4. So maybe for Lincoln, I'm going to put them in 1/4 of a cup containers because he doesn't drink a whole lot at a time for dinner, especially. I put them into 1/4 cup containers. How many containers do I need? Awesome. All right, now I'm going to do the math. 3 divided by 1/4 would be the same thing as 12/4 divided by 1/4. So 12 divided by 1 is 12. So my answer would be 12 containers. Awesome. Also, by the way, 1/3 divided by 4 is going to be very close to some of the other questions between this and the other page that we just did. Okay. 1/3. So earlier we said we have like 1/4 of a watermelon. So maybe I have 1/3 of something. I have 1/3 of a cake. I know I can split food into pieces, right? I want to share with me and 3 friends. So myself and 3 friends, that's 4 people. How much do we each get? Awesome. I want you to solve the problem. How much cake will each of myself and my friends get? What is my answer? All right, 1/3 divided by 4. I'm going to do 4 over 1. Again, I'm going to change those into the common denominator. So 1/3 divided by 12/3. 1/3 divided by 12/3 is 1/12. 1/12 of a cake. Done. That's your answer. Using common denominators can be a little tricky if you get caught up in it, but it also can make it very easy to do these problems. I want you to make your choice. What do you like? What do you like better? Do you like dividing with keep, change, flip? Or did you like the common denominator method? Have a great day, guys.